Hi guys. So I know I'm on a Trump train today. But lately, I should say, not today, but lately. But we're gonna talk about this. We got Kevin O'Reilly talking on CNN, and he's gonna school this CNN anchor, basically put him on a blast, right? Because of the judgment in New York, and he's gonna basically give her a little uh uh schooling on how business works and how these real estate developers actually work and function and all that stuff. So without further ado, I'm gonna play the video, and we're gonna talk about this.
And I'm wondering, where is he going to get this money?
Actually, it's closer to $500 million with a 9% interest, assuming
True.
it'll take 18 to 2 years to actually settle this in an appeal, which I think it should be appealed. He'll work hard to raise it. I think he can do it. But I don't think this case is about Trump anymore at all, because you heard the governor of New York come out yesterday and say, look, everybody, don't be scared about doing business in New York, because the only people we prosecute are people like Donald Trump who don't behave well. That didn't go over very well with the investment community, because we're all asking each other, who's next? This was a victimless crime. Nobody lost any money.
Exactly, victimless crime. Nobody lost any money. This is where the banks, the insurance company, they were all okay with the agreement they had, and they were okay with Trump coming and say, hey, I got a property valued at this much. And of course the bank is going to do their own due diligence to figure out if the property is worth that much. They'll be like, no, you know what, I'm not going to give you $60 million for that property. I'll give you 40. So let's hear this.
And a judge out of nowhere put on a $355 million penalty. I mean, who's next? So if you think
Kevin,
about
before I don't want to cut you off, but I hear about the so-called victimless crimes, but the laws on the books, falsification of business records and second degree, issuing false financial statements, insurance fraud, conspiracy, and all these different aspects of it, those are actual crimes. I take it your point is that these should not have been prosecuted?
I mean, of course, some of the laws are on the books, but they went after Trump unless there's a victim involved, unless somebody got victim, there was a victim, there was no money, there was money stolen or anything like that. Yes, those apply, absolutely. But in a real estate business, it's a different ball game. He didn't steal money. Everybody got paid. Everybody was satisfied. Everybody got their money. Everybody got everything they needed. So,
well, my point is there's never been a case like this in 75 years. Everything you just listed off is done by every real estate developer everywhere on earth in every city. This has never, ever been prosecuted. But here's the real point that people in New York should concern themselves with. You can put your money anywhere. I'm a real estate developer. Do you think there's a chance I would ever take a chance on New York again? New York is turning itself into a flyover state.
That is an amazing, amazing point, right? A flyover state. What is a flyover state? Basically, you just want to fly over it, don't want to stop, don't even want to make a pit stop. You don't even want to look down. You just want to fly over it, look straight. Basically, just garbage down there. You're flying over a landfill.
I have to build data centers now. I'm not going to go to New York. New York has power. It's got fiber optics. It's got Niagara Falls. But no, we're not even thinking about it. We're going to places that have the exact same thing, where we have rational governors that have never done this to investors.
This was the best. Rational governor. You know what that means? He's going to red states. That's where he's going. He's basically signaling that I will not, and I urge you not to invest in blue states and just go straight to red states, because red states welcome business. Blue states, they just want to tax you to death because of their socialist ideology.
This is about New York and its people. If I were in New York today and I was living there, I would ask myself, maybe we should hire better management. Why is this happening to us? Why are we becoming a flyover state? Why are investors
Kevin,
concerned about putting their money there?
But shouldn't you ask that? Wouldn't those people also be saying, well, first of all, I do wonder how many people take issue with the idea that every investor is engaged in falsifying business records, that every investor is engaged in what has been accused of Donald Trump and the Trump organization. Because there's probably a lot who are saying to themselves, I've never falsified my business records. I know what a square foot looks like. I know what I can ask for and what I have the money to support. So I wonder to what extent that really is true. But on the second point, wouldn't there be many companies who would not want to do business or loan money to people like yourself or investors if they know that they can get away with fraud and there's no recourse to protect them?
Excuse me, what fraud? This is not about Trump anymore. When
I
you
know.
get a developer that builds.
I love it. It's like, what fraud? Fraud only applies if something was stolen. When people say you falsified information on a document, it's when a fraud case happened. That means the lender lost money.
Builds a building, and he says it's worth $400 million, and he wants to borrow $200 million from a bank, which happens every day, everywhere on earth, including every American city. Every developer is an entrepreneur. They shine the light on their building and they say it's worth 400. The bank does its own due diligence, as was done in this case, because they're very good at it. The banks are very good, and they say, no, it's worth 300. We're only going to loan you 150 million. That haggling has gone on for decades. That's how it works. And then in this case, even the bank that was supposedly defrauded testified and said, we didn't lose anything. We want to do business with this guy again.
There you go. There it is. The bank itself, Letitia James brought it forward saying that, this bank was defrauded. They said, no, we want to do business with this guy again because he paid us back. He paid us back to include the interest. Holy crap.
We'd like to, but the judge said, no. Let's penalize this developer for $355 million. And if we're going to do that, let's penalize all the developers all across America. They've all done the same thing. All of them should go to jail, and we should stop building buildings. That's what the message is from New York. Even the governor herself is concerned about what this looks like to investors all around the world. It's not just U.S. domestic. All around the world, people are talking about what happened here. You really think people want to invest money in New York after this? How about we go somewhere else?
I think there are people who would. I don't want to cut you off, but I want to converse with you instead.
You just did.
It's only because I want to have a conversation,
you know what?
Kevin,
I respect
as opposed
you,
to just having
I respect
you tell
because
me.
you're a lawyer.
Did you see what she? Oh, what did she tell? She's trying to play the race card, like, oh, I'm better than you. Get the hell out of here.
Lawyer, you understand exactly what I'm talking about.
I got to tell you, I'm respectable for a number of reasons, Kevin O'Leary, but being a lawyer is one of those issues. But I'll tell you, when I hear your conversation, and I do want to converse with you about this point, I understand that there are legitimate concerns that were raised during the trial and will continue to be raised about who the quote unquote, who is actually bringing the suit. It wasn't the banks who were saying that we as consumers or unsophisticated feel this way.
Listen.
But Letitia James, the Attorney General, and I know you want to expand beyond Trump, has suggested, well, it's about making the playing field level for those who are not the major.
Cool. You want to make the playing field level? Why did you go after Trump? Why don't you pick somebody else? Why don't you pick a different real estate developer? Why did you have to pick Trump out of all the real estate developers in New York? Every single large real estate developer in New York, why did you have to go after Trump? Because you campaigned on it. Because that was your mission, to put him in jail or fine him or trying to bankrupt him or X, Y, and Z. And she just made the entire premise very clear of why they went after Trump. Why didn't you pick a different developer? Why did you have to pick Trump out of the entire, sea of developers or real estate moguls? Why?
Major and billionaire investors, but for those who are supposed to put business records out there, want to get a loan, the idea of making sure that they have to have the same true statements included as those who have a lot more money. Is there any weight to that for you?
Well, I ask you, who lost money? And I'll make it even clearer. You and I, we're developing a data center together. And I say to you, we can go to New York, where this just happened. It's your money now. You're now an investor and you're taking risk. You're an entrepreneur with me, right beside me. We're together on the deal. Or I can show you Oklahoma, North Dakota, West Virginia, where the governors actually ran businesses. Let's go there, where this never happened before. They have power, they have permits, they've got legislation that's supportive of entrepreneurship. Why would we go to New York? Why take the risk? My only point is, did we just diminish the great state of New York and the great people of New York? And shouldn't they ask for better management so they don't become a flyover state? Remember, New York has the highest taxes in the country, the worst regulatory environment, and it's incredibly mismanaged. And I'm pointing out now, on top of that, you get this insanity, a victimless crime. And forget about Trump. It's not about Trump. I don't care about Trump in this. I care about America, and I care about entrepreneurship, and I care about democracy and the fairness. The judicial system is now being criticized. People are asking themselves, the bar of New York, is this judge rational to charge $355 million?
No, he's not rational, because he had already made up his mind from day one. He had already made up his mind from day one, because what he did was he put a stop to the Trump organization to do business. He put a temporary halt on it because he had already made up his mind. He didn't give a damn about the defense. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't care about the bank and coming in and saying, hey, we didn't lose money. We want to do business again with Trump. But he didn't care about this. He was a partisan hack, and he should be disbarred. And he's a disgrace.
In a case where no one lost any money, is that good for the people of New York? Should the people of New York wake up to this and say, what's happening to us? Why is this becoming so perverse? Why are we the focus of this injustice? And I had nothing to do with Trump. I'm not supporting Trump. I'm supporting American entrepreneurship. And New York is slowly becoming the #1 loser state in America. I'm sorry, that's what's happening.
That was beautifully said. That was beautifully said. And I tell you
That's
what,
news to the city.
that it couldn't be any further from the truth, guys. It could not be any further from the truth. So Kevin O'Reilly speaks truth. I don't care about his politics, to be honest with you. I could care less who he votes for, but he's speaking the truth as far as the investment portion goes, as far as how New York handles things. And this was a 100% a partisan political attack, because Letitia James did not go after any other investor except Trump, because he's running for presidency. She got her orders from the Democratic Party that she needs to do this in order to stop Trump. So, with that being said, let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Peace out.